It's Mighty Morphin time!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to It's Mighty Morphin. So this week, welcome back to another Boombox Reviews video. This week we are reading Power Rangers #1, the continuation of the Omega Rangers story. So let's get this opened up and see what it has in store for us. So we catch up with our Omega Rangers, Zach, Trini, and Jason, training on the Spectrum 2. They're doing some space training for the lack of gravity, and Trini has it down packed. The boys, not so much. So, following on, we catch up with our Power Rangers, our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, on Angel Grove while they're out at the beach. And Billy and Rocky are playing with the frisbee, and then out of nowhere, Zach, Trini, and Jason show up without warning. A nice happy reunion, a family reunion if you will, right there on the beach. So with that quick little family reunion on the beach, we head straight into the command center where the Omega Rangers tell Zordon about the EMPYREALS that they ran into at the end of number 55. And they find out that Drakon is in the basement of the command center in prison. And they need to speak to him. They think he knows something and that Drakon is running from something. And they think it could be these EMPYREALS. Drakon tells them that he knows what they are. He says them exactly by name and says plural, and that means trouble for our Rangers. Tommy jumps in and is like, no, you can't believe anything that he's saying. He'll say anything to get out of that cage. But Drakon is convinced that the EMPYREALS are coming, and when they come to Earth, that they will be total annihilation, and he is just going to be stuck behind those bars watching the world burn. So after speaking with Drakon, the Omega Rangers want to take Drakon with them, and Zordon is heavy-footing a no. He says that Drakon is the closest he's ever been to losing the universe, and he's been protecting it for over 10,000 years. So, and he reminds the Rangers that they are no longer Power Rangers, but that Drakon is his responsibility and he is not letting him go for any reason. The Rangers, now that they're back home in Angel Grove, they decide to go to the juice bar, and Jason and Rocky are sparring and they're talking. Jason's like, I've now been to more planets than I have been states. He's like, I miss Earth. He misses home. And then Rocky brings up, he's like, there's nothing fun here except for the new Green Ranger. And that takes Jason completely off guard. The who? With a solid knock to the jaw, Rocky knocks down Jason. And he is just confused that there's a new Green Ranger and new Green Ranger powers. Back at the juice bar and they're talking, Kimberly wants Trini to stay and hang out a while. She wants her best friend back. But Trini has a lot on her mind after watching the EMPYREALS destroy that entire planet. Millions of people, beings gone. And then Tommy comes in and he's like, if Drakon gets out and people get hurt, that's on you, Trini. And she's like, well, if we don't get him and we don't get the information or the help, who's that going to be on? He's like, I'm sorry about the planet, but you don't sacrifice the universe for one planet. And she is just adamant that they need to do something, because if they're going to destroy planets like that, they could easily just wipe out all the planets. There goes the universe, not just in one solid swift go, but piece by piece, the universe would go as well. And we also catch up with Jason and Rocky sparring again, and Rocky brings up that he thinks that Jason would be disappointed in him because he's the Red Ranger, but he's not the leader of the team. and every past Red Ranger has been the leader, Grace and Jason, and Jason's telling him that he might be a better fighter than him, and then not to worry because he doesn't need the color Ranger he is to define who he is. And that gives Rocky a little bit of peace of mind because he is kind of concerned that he's not the leader, even though he's the Red Ranger of the new lineup of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So the gang's ready to part ways for the evening. They're like, "You're not going to go see your parents?" They're like, "No, we came back just for this mission." Blah, blah, blah. And so the Omega Rangers are left by themselves, and it just kind of quickly cuts to, so we breaking Dracon out or nah? So we cut to the command center. Alpha's ready to power down for the night, and he initiates the Dracon 1 security protocol. And then not long after that, the Omega Rangers teleport into the command center, and Alpha's got this place on lockdown, like power grids everywhere, little drones that look like his head to protect everything. But the Omega Rangers are pretty swift, and they can move silently and move quickly. So they make it, and they make it to Dracon, and they get him out of the cage, and he's like, "I'm not going to be helpful at all." And Jason threatens him, and he's like, "As soon as you're unhelpful, I'll open an airlock on this ship and you can walk right out, but I'm not going to be on the planet when it happens." So they're talking a little bit more about let's go, and like, you're coming with us no matter what. And out of the darkness, aye, 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 Alpha's up. And we're faced with the original three going up against one of their mentors and best friends, Alpha 5. He is set to protect, and Alpha is trying to reason with the Rangers, but then Dracon's like, "If you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty," and he punches Alpha so hard, like, he bounces into a wall and bursts his head open. Jason's like, "No, you never touch Alpha," but so Dracon throws it out there. He's like, "You have one choice. You either get to save the universe from the EMPYREALS, or you get to stay here and help out Alpha." And I have a feeling that they're going to leave because of the bigger picture. The Omegas are looking at the bigger picture. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Angel Grove are looking at staying and making sure Earth is protected, while the Omegas have much broader spectrum of evil that they have to face. So we end Power Rangers number 1 with Zordon coming back to and finding Alpha damaged, but Jason is still there. He said Trini says that his neutral net is scrambled, but no permanent damage should be done, and that they are taking the track on, and he apologizes. I've never seen Zordon so pissed off, and it's kind of great. He says, "If you take Dracon, I will not hesitate to unleash everything at my disposal on you to stop you." And Jason's trying to reason, but he's like, "Your way is not the only way." And then he kind of insults him by, "Perhaps you've been on Earth too long." But he leaves and says, "For what it's worth, I'm sorry." And then final page is, "It didn't have to be like this." And the Spectrum 2 is taking off, and we have a new team going off to fight adventures going forward, including Trini, Jason, Zack, Lord Dracon, and the end was to be continued. So, couple takeaways from this issue, like Jason, who was Zordon's like go-to guy leader, now like going against Zordon is crazy, but they think they're doing what's best for the universe, but so does Zordon. Zordon thinks that they know they've already been through what Dracon can do, and he doesn't want to go through that again. So, but we're just going to have to keep going and see where this comic goes. I'm so excited that these have split off into 2 stories, but this one also kind of brought it back into one, bringing them back to Earth, but they had to do it so they can get Drakon back on their team. So let's talk about some of the covers I was able to get this week for Power Rangers #1. Power Rangers #1, cover A, which is going to be your main. It's got the Omega Rangers on it. This Space Tiger, which makes it look like it has more to do with the story. So I think there's going to be more to come out of him. They do talk about in this issue that they're going to get him home, but not quite yet. So I think this Tiger is going to be, I think his name was Gale, is going to be an important part of this team. So a couple covers that I got. This was the A. The cover B, I believe, is this one. Yep, that's C. Cover B, sorry. This is a connecting variant from Yoon that actually will connect with Mighty Morphin #1. And then we've got the blank sketch variant for Mighty Morphin. I thought this was supposed to be a different color, but I'm not upset that it's red either. So the blank sketch where you can sketch your own cover onto it, I can't draw that well, so this is staying exactly like this. So the Mighty Morphin #1, and I think it goes like this. Oh, got things flying everywhere. Yeah, there we go. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers connection variants. Awesome to look and see the Core 5 here. Not sure why they decided to put the Green Ranger on the Power Rangers one when he's more in the Mighty Morphin story. But maybe that's a little bit of foreshadowing too. So we'll just have to keep going and see next month when Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers 2 come out. And then they continued again with the Legacy variant, Legacy numbering. So number 57 for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It includes the double logo, so I like that. I forgot to mention that last week. So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers continuation covers. And then Every Ranger Ever cover. I did not get this one for Mighty Morphin. Hopefully I can find it and get it. That way I have the complete connecting set. But I'm so glad I got this one this week. But yeah, so did you pick up Mighty Morphin, Power Rangers #1 this week? Mighty Morphin came out last week. Are you reading both? Or are you going to stick with one? Honestly, I don't think there's a way that you could just stick with one, because I do think these are going to continuously cross over as the story moves forward. And we can only wait and see how big of a threat these Imperials actually are going to be. So, moving on. Some covers that I got for last week. Dragon's Lair actually ended up getting Mighty Morphin #1 blank sketch variants, and they had some extra today, and I was able to pick one up. So they look exactly the same, except for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and then the Mighty Morphin one says Power Rangers at the bottom, but I got things flying everywhere. Says Power Rangers at the bottom, but the Power Rangers one does not. And then I entered a contest not long ago on, I want to say it was Instagram. Razzle is a page I follow, and he does comment giveaways, poster giveaways, all kinds of things. So I was able to win this number 55 variant featuring the Green Ranger and the green coin in the background. I love this variant. There's no writing on it. It's just a great art piece, and I'm so glad to have it in my collection. Thank you, Razzle. So yeah, any new variants for you guys? What did you get? Did you get the foil variant this week? Because that one is one I was looking for, and unfortunately was not able to get it in this first pickup. But maybe over the next few weeks, we'll see if I can find it. So, once again, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the series so far. Where do you think #1 is going to go for? How bad are the Imperials going to be? So just let me know down in the comments. And as always, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching. So this week, I also thought I would do a giveaway for comics. It's my second comic video, and I will be giving away the trade paperback of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Volume 9. So, in order to win, leave a comment and make sure you're subscribed to It's Mighty Morphin, and you can win Volume 9 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.